Hi folks, Dumock the Artist coming at you once again from my hidden bunker deep within the bowels of the city. And Bionic Dance has made a video talking about how Voltron makes no sense. Now, Bionic Dance, I actually watched the video. I actually watched your video, obviously. But I also watched Voltron religiously when it came out in the 1980s and after. Now, to answer a couple of your questions, each member of the Voltron force has a specific specialization that they work on. Referring specifically to the 5 Lions Voltrons, one was the navigator, one was the mechanic or the engineer, the other one was like the military expert, the other one was the pilot, obviously, and then you have the princess, which, you know, I really never knew what she did. I think she handled communications like any other female officer in a space-based program did. Because back then, that was what female officers did. They handled communications. Why? Because women like to talk. That was the stereotype back then. Now, so it wasn't necessarily that the Voltron pilots did absolutely nothing while Keith controlled the robot. Each specific member of the Voltron team would then fall upon their native expertise. Whereas I think, I forgot the names of the characters. It's been so long since I've watched this. But pretty much, you know, that's what they would do. They would fit in with their specialties. Like the big bulky guy was obviously the mechanic. So if there was a mechanical problem or an engineering problem, he was the guy that was responsible for fixing it. In case there needed to be repairs made on the Voltron robot while they were in transit or in combat. That was his job. I think Pip was the navigator, if I'm not mistaken. He was the guy that, you know, charted where Voltron was supposed to go, and that's basically how it worked. Not only that, but also in the Voltron giant robot form, each one also controlled their individual weapons. It wasn't that they just, you know, sat around and, you know, twiddled their thumbs doing nothing. They also controlled their individual weapons. They controlled the individual systems of their particular droid. It's just that the main movement, like the arms and the legs and, you know, the full movement of the body, was handled by the pilot. The others would essentially control their weapons and devices to serve as much as possible. Now, eventually what wound up happening in the Voltron series is that Voltron got his ass served at one point. I mean, he just got completely torn apart. And he wound up getting the power of 1,000,000 suns or 1,000 suns or some ludicrous thing like that. So it no longer relied so much on the blazing sword. He had other weapons like the eye lasers, the energy form cross, the 5 Lion barrage, where they attacked with all of their native elements, that sort of thing. So they tried to build up a little more variety. Personally, I rather like the 15 robot combination like you did, mainly because there was a little more interaction with the characters, and also the vehicles could actually combine and form their own micro vehicles or micro giant vehicles, where that way they could, like the air team could form a vehicle and travel on air. The land team could form a giant vehicle and travel on land. The sea team formed a giant vehicle and, well, they traveled through the sea and handle things that way and coordinate their efforts. There was a bit more diversity there. So hopefully I answered your question sufficiently as far as Voltron is concerned, and I'll see if I can do my best to try and remember the names of the rest of the team, but yeah, that was essentially what they did. They controlled their own weapons, and they basically lent support, and they fell back on their normal specialties, which, you know, they kind of had to do when Keith was involved. So I hope this helps. This is Dumock the Artist signing off. Have a nice day.